So next is going to be the third wine. It's going to be the Fiddletown Zinfandel. Fiddletown is one of my favorite Zinfandel, producing regions in the state. So Fiddletown, in Amador County, there are two specific viticultural areas. One is the Shenandoah Valley, okay. The other is Fiddletown. So Fiddletown is a little bit higher in elevation than where the winery is. It's about 250 feet higher, about 1,800-ish feet in elevation. And it's in this bowl, and this appellation stays cooler than the rest of Amador and the rest of the Shenandoah Valley where the winery is. And so what that means is our growing season is quite a bit longer. And you'll see when we taste, this is going to be a little wine that's a little more zingy. It's got a little bit more high-tone red fruit. And typically we have to wait for about 2 weeks until this Fiddletown comes off, until everything is picked, and then 2 weeks later the Fiddletown fruit comes off and the vine, and it just is really makes a very, very elegant wine.
So this is, I find this is, it's got a ton of flavor to it. It's big, it's still very balanced, but this seems like a wine that I might save for a little bit longer than either of these two.
And Fiddletown Zinfandels are, typically are wines that can age for 5 or 6 or perhaps 8 years.
I get that.
And it has a little bit more of that tannin and acid.
Absolutely.
And those things all kind of mesh together over time.
Because, it's drinking well right now. This, going through this, it's actually a really good little river that we're taking down right now. This is like, drink it right now, easily and approachable. This one, again, that was a beautiful wine. I'll be taking that bottle home with me tonight. It's not funny, I'm serious. And then the third one is also, it is approachable, but there is a highly tannic nature to it. There's that acid, but over time, so that will mellow out.
Absolutely.
How does that work exactly?
Well, just with a little bit of oxygen that transgresses through the cork, with that oxygen, the wine starts to soften and evolve in the bottle. So, that's definitely a wine that has some cellar ability.
Cool. And would you say the percentages were on this? Because I think we went from 75% Zin up to
we went from about 86% in the California to 90%. And this Fiddletown is actually 99% Zin, so there's just a little bit of a couple of other varieties in there.
And how does that work in there?
Well, it's just sometimes it's a very interesting concept in winemaking. Sometimes just a little bit, 1% or 0.5% of a couple of different varieties can really just, however it works, completely tweak an otherwise 100% varietal wine. So.
Wow. So even that,
and that's the fun, and that's the fun part about winemaking is actually, tripping out on a little bit of Viognier, and this Zin can, completely change the aromatic profile and the flavor profile. So,
wow, cool.
a lot of factors at play.
Yeah, so you get the different wines, you get the different kinds of barrels, the exposure.
Well, absolutely. The same wine in 50 different barrels, and perhaps you have 20 or 30 that are brand new. The wine can be completely different in this American oak barrel versus this French oak barrel and this neutral barrel. So
how cool!